Okay, we're back and it's time to take the bread out of the oven. I can't wait. It's going to be really good. I can smell it right now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a couple of dish rags to be really careful. You're going to see that it hasn't mattered what the temperature is. Right about now, we're about 43 minutes. So I've had it in another 20 minutes or a little bit longer after I've taken the top off. So you want to be really careful when you take it out and not touch the pan. That would definitely not be good. And so I'm going to set that on top. I want to show you what the top looks like. It's just getting past golden brown. And what I'm going to do is be really careful and set that bread out. Now, I'm going to use this pan for right now because it's easy to set that on top. But you can get a cooling rack where the bottom of it will not be touching anything at all. It's kind of a mesh, wire mesh that it sits on. But since you probably don't have one right now, I'm just picking something that's going to keep it up a little bit. And so I'm going to be really careful getting in there. I'm going to take that and just set that right there. I like to find things that are around the house to start making bread now so you don't have to delay. There's no reason to wait. So there's plenty of things that you can use. I prefer to get it out of there and not have it sitting on the bottom anymore. We don't want that bottom to get cooked too much. But I'm going to let this cool down a little bit. Now you'll be happy to know that I'm not of the camp that's going to wait 2 hours before I taste that bread. I'm just going to let it get cool enough to actually cut off a piece of the end. And I like it like that. I don't see a great difference in letting it cool for an hour or cool for 2 hours. You can go that route, but I'm going to do it when that butter melts on top and when that honey does the same and it tastes so good. Then I'll wait for the rest of it, obviously, because I'm not going to eat it all now. It's going to take me at least an hour, hour and a half to eat all of it. I'm just kidding you. So I'm going to let it cool just a little bit and then we'll come back and see how that goes. Okay, this is the time we've all been waiting for. So the bread is cooled for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So I can actually pick it up now and it's warm, but it's not hot to burn my hands. So let's see how the bottom did. The bottom looks pretty good. It's brown. You know, it's a little big to play frisbees with, but I'm going to put it down and I'm going to cut into the end and see what it looks like on the inside. Oh, that came out fantastic. So you can see that there's plenty of rising in there, plenty of air pockets, and you know this happened in four or 5 minutes from the time that I started mixing that dough. Very uncomplicated. Just put the water in the dough and put the starter in there and let it sit overnight. That's as easy as it can get. So now, I mean, I don't see the point to wait to cut into your bread, because what everyone wants is that warm bread that just comes out of the oven. And I want to cut that, and the steam is pouring up and it smells so good. And that piece looks incredible. See that steam coming off of there? My paper's going to blow away. I would recommend getting the paper because it's extremely easy. It's also easy when it's on the baking pan, but with the Dutch oven it made it really extremely easy. So now is the good part. And what I'm going to do, of course, if you really want to taste what that bread tastes like, you can just go like this. Now you will notice I did not put salt in that dough. I did not put oil in that dough. I put nothing in there. It tastes perfect to me like that. You can salt your bread. You can put salt in the dough if you want, but none of it is needed. If you really like it, you can put a little salt on after, but the butter usually has some salt in it if you're going to put that. Or Another thing that you can do is you can take some olive oil. Better move that out of the way. Be playing paper airplane shortly. You can put a little bit of olive oil, put a little salt, and take that bread just like that and dip it in there. You won't go to a restaurant again, not for bread at least. That is extremely good. Now, what I'm going to do now is take a little bit of butter and try something slightly different. You can put butter on part, olive oil on part, get your preserves out, put some jelly on if you want, or you can make a sandwich with it. But the main thing you got to remember is this is like God's food for your body. I mean, it's incredible like that, and you're going to be nourished. Grains have been in the human population for thousands of years, and it's what nourished people and always has, but the missing link has been the fermentation of the grains. And so once they started using yeast, it's like adding something from the fungus family or the mold family to the bread, which is why it molds so quickly. This is not going to mold or get old. It's going to sit. I can leave it sit for pretty much however long I want. It'll dry, but it's not going to get old. So this is an amazing preserved bread. Now that I have that butter on there, I'm really big on raw honey. We'll go into why, but it's very much it has to do with the same properties as the bread. It won't spike the sugar of people or a diabetic for that matter. It's similar to the difference between raw orange juice, freshly squeezed, compared to pasteurized orange juice. So that's why I use raw honey. Now that has butter and honey on it. And you know, I'm sorry that you don't have some right now, but you're going to have it soon enough. Stumble. Earthquake. What can I say? You've got to do it as soon as possible. I'm going to help you every way I can. You saw how easy I made this. Tell me, how many times did I work that dough and fold that dough and deal with all that? For me, that's what I got to do because I want to eat it. I don't want to spend all year in the kitchen unless it's eating the food. So, if you like what you've seen and you're learning things, and after you eat that bread, I know you're going to think, wow. Hit the like button below, which is actually the thumbs up button. And you see that little thumbs up, hit it. You'll get videos quickly. Hit the subscribe button. Well, best not hit it, just touch it. But I want to keep bringing you really interesting things, and you've got to try this. You just have to. I really can't. I don't know if I can make enough and mail it to you, but if you just give it a shot, just make it really simple. For starters, go to the store, buy some whole wheat flour, and come home with it. And put an inch in a cup, in a glass cup, and put some spring water or some purified water in there, and wait a day, and do that 3 days in a row, and you've got your starter. Put some flour, put some water, make a dough ball, put a little bit of that in there, let it sit overnight, put it in the oven, 500, bake it 20 minutes, then take the lid off. Or if you don't have a lid, put some water in there. Or if you don't have either one, just bake it for about 35 minutes. You'll be fine. It's done. You're going to be standing, sitting, whatever you're going to eat, but you're going to be eating this bread. So I look forward to bringing you these programs, these videos, and what more can I say? You've got a special treat in store for you. And we'll see each other soon again. So there you have it, from start to finish, from wheat kernel all the way through to sourdough bread. And you know, you can make it so easily at home, and it's so great to start incorporating the nutrition that you need into your diet and actually getting what you thought you were getting by eating other things, but you're not at all. You know, there's many kinds of flour that we can go through and that you can use, but the main thing is you want the one that's going to have the most nutrients in it, and for me, that's the wheat kernel ground up. Now, there are many different grinders. If you're in a remote area where you can't get to electricity, but you still want to grind wheat, you can have a hand grinder, or you can have an electric grinder like the one that I'm using. That way you capture the entire nutrition of the wheat kernel into the flour. Now, when you go into the store and you buy it, you just want to get whole wheat flour. That's going to have the most nutrition in it. You can get the white flour, but the white flour is a very unnatural thing that they've actually taken and bleached the flour, taken the vitamins out, taken them out so much that they have to re-enrich it. And when you find out what they're enriching it with, you won't want any parts of that. We're going to go over that in future videos and many other things that are going to help you so much. So I appreciate your support. If you like what you're listening to and you like these videos, just make sure you hit the like button down below and also the subscribe button, and you'll be the first to get notified of videos. I really appreciate your support, and I look forward to making these videos for you, and I will see you soon.